end of the party, they couldn't find my Aunt Fanny. That's why my dad took her home, and she wouldn't get out of the car. He had to take her to his house. She was afraid of my grandmother.
Afraid of my mother.
So after that, she was looking for her like crazy, but I didn't really have her with me. So I went to, in those days when you do that, you have to go ask for forgiveness. So I had to go ask for forgiveness.
And that you kneel down?
Yeah. So she
We
said,
had to.
She said, but you have to get married by the church. No, he took us to the church. In those days, they didn't ask you too many questions, just if you were baptized, that's all. So the priest married us in the church and all that.
And who were your padrinos?
¿Qué fue mi padrino? Fue Pillón. Porque Pillón y yo nos casamos juntos, ¿no?
Yo y Puyol.
¿Verdad?
You
¿Verdad?
worked the Maria?
Yeah, we got married the same day.
Because she had
On the
gotten,
same day?
She had gotten married.
Oh.
She had eloped también, ¿verdad? Did you elope?
That same night?
About a month before that,
Oh,
no?
about a month before.
In August.
In
And
August.
this happened in January the following year.
So then my suegra got us all together and took us over to the priest and got us married. Yeah.
We were taking, well, not classes, porque there were no classes, but
No.
we were having talks with the priest, every week.
Mm.
And,
Pero not
no, nosotros.
Yeah.
And then they had to get married, so Chana was their padrinos.
Oh, okay.
Chana and Raimundo.
Oh, okay.
And they were our padrinos.
Mom and Dad
After
are
they
your
got-
padrinos?
After they got married, that same day,
Uh-huh.
he married them first, and then they were our padrinos.
Oh, very nice.
So by then I had already been in Washington 1 year, okay? So I knew, and my father wanted to come to work because he used to hear a lot. So I brought my father, and I asked Porfirio, do you want to go, Porfirio? Porfirio was working at a restaurant for $12 a week, washing dishes. I was working at that time in a construction for 50 cents an hour. 50 by 40 is only $20 a week. I'm telling you, those times were hard. There was no other work. So Porfirio right away said, hey, yeah, I want to go. So I loaded them and my father and everybody in a little pickup. It took us a week to get here to Washington. Your father got so adjusted to this place that he never went back. Right away he started talking English. He never knew English. He was always joking, don't talk to me in Spanish. He was a joker too, But he loved it over here. I went back because she wanted to see her mother. She wanted me. So every time I go back I look for a job. And I finally find a job at a company there. Right? So after 1959 I didn't come back. But Porfirio stayed here, and that's why you guys are here.
He says, I'll never go back to Texas.
He liked
And
it.
I thought, no, hombre, por el trabajo, because of the work.
Well, what did he earn here when he came here?
$1
Over
an
there,
hour.
I was making 50 cents an hour. He was making $12 a week, and I was making $1.25 an hour. All the hours you can work. Can you imagine? It was like gold,
Mhm.
I think he was making $1, but I was making $1.25. And so, we were hard-working people. So, and the Japanese we were working with, they liked us very much. They treated us, as far as respecting us, they treated us very well. They even bring us into their homes and all that. I had never been treated like that before, so it was okay working here. But it was a lot of work because it was 12 hours a day. And I was working with the Hattori brothers, and I think Pion also started working with the Hattori brothers, and then he changed to somebody else.
I remember one time that when we were...
That was our honeymoon. You want to tell?
I remember one time that we were here, and there was like a windstorm or something.
A windstorm,
A windstorm.
sandstorm.
Sandstorm.
Mm-hmm.
And he came home, and the only thing I could see was his eyes. He was all covered with sand.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And then I was driving a Caterpillar, so I was listening with a Caterpillar. No, hombre, pues, all you could see was my eyes. Still don't forget that. But there was a lot of sandstorms in those days. Yeah. The land was very new and very loose.
Oh,
Yeah.
fun then.
You know, that's how we got all the way over here. You know?
And you liked it here too, Mom, right? No?
I wanted to go back to Texas, but they didn't take me back. I didn't go back for 20 years.
20 years.
And, when I went back I went back when my dad died. You know, that's when they left. It was in 58.
58.
And we stayed in Edinburgh, 56. No, I came back.
We came
I'm
back.
talking about,
We came back and.
I'm talking
and
about
we
the
came
very
back
first
in,
year that I came
it was
over here.
58.
See, you left in 58 and you never came back.
I never came back. You guys came
Yeah,
back.
and then after my dad's funeral, I came back. And he says, well, never going back to Texas. And I didn't go back to Texas until I went to leave Diana at the convent.
You went to where?
Cuando fui a dejar a Diana al convento.
Oh, yeah.
We went to Texas and that's when you went with us. You were about 15, 14.
No, I was 18.
18?
Yeah. 17. I was 17.
But that was kind of the honeymoon for us with that. She doesn't forget that because when we got here, they gave us an old barrack. There was abandoned, you know, with all kinds of, the boards were about that much apart. I had to put some cardboards on the inside, and then she said, hey, what am I going to cook? Well, there was one of those steel stoves inside. I said, over here, so I went up there and cut some wood, and you know, that was, and she doesn't forget that was our honeymoon, you know, because right away after we got married, we came over here. And it was hard at first. We started to have a car or anything like that.
So how did you stay warm if you just had cardboard, you know, I mean,
Well, we
If
put
it's
wood
cold
on
up
the
here.
stove, you know, and
Oh.
yeah, we had a couple of blankets with that. You know.
yeah.
But it's true that because it was in March, I think. In March it's still cold.
Yeah.
I
They-
remember I was in the Caterpillar and I was cold. I was cold with that. Because we didn't have enough good clothing with that. So that's the way we started. Yeah. that's the way we
Why
started.
did we stay in Mapton?
Huh?
Why did we stay in Mapton?
In-
Porque the very first year que vinimos
Oh, I
Maybe
dropped
I
you
was
guys over there.
in Mapton,
Pero you didn't last very long there.
No.
You joined
Till
me.
June.
You joined me. I left you and my father and Porfirio because Sabas was over there at that time.
oh, I see.
And I already had a job with the authority.
Oh, uh-huh.
So I came, consoled myself, we brought the pickup and I dropped them over there. But I got to Mapton with one silver dollar. And I told Sabas, I pawned the silver dollar for 12 pesos for $12. And that's what he gave me, and that's how I got here with $12, you know. We left it a whole week on the road, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to Mapton, but you didn't have any money.
No more money left. Because we had a little problem with the pickup on the way there, you know, we had a problem with the radiator and all that. We barely got over here, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good thing you were 18 years old.
Huh?
It's a good thing you were 18 years old.
You were 19 by then, you
19.
could.
Yeah, 19. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
it's a
any,
miracle that we're still.
is there anything you want to say to the generation that came after you two?
Oh my God.
The generations that came after us, I'm talking about Porfirio too because we're a family of that thing, is that, like I said in the reunion, you know, don't forget the past and embrace the present and plant the seed for the future. They need to appreciate what their parents and grandparents have done to try to give them a better life and to help each other like we do. Be a family, help each other, and stay united as a family, pero don't forget the past, because I myself, my ancestors también, like I say, they came all the way from San Luis all the way to Austin, which is 600 miles. There was no roads. How did they get over here? How long did they take? My mother says that they had to eat skins of rabbits. People would kill a rabbit and throw the skin, they would pick it up and peel it, and that's what they would cook. You know, how long did she took to get here, right? So, to the new generation, appreciate and enjoy life and help each other, right? And be proud of who you are and who your parents were.
Mom, do you have anything?
No, I'm just grateful to our Lord to know that you had the education that I didn't have. ¿Cómo se dice? La habilidad de tener, you know?
The opportunity.
I had the opportunity to have. I am happy for all of you. And like Chepo says, don't forget that you guys suffer too, because you guys worked very hard when you were young. So teach your kids to appreciate what they have and how they got it. It was from sacrifice from all of you. And I'm very proud of all of you for what you have done with your lives. I wish I could have a chance. I think I would have loved to be a designer or maybe a cook, you know. I always wanted to have a place of my own. I never did. And they never trust me. They would say that I didn't know nothing. But have confidence in yourselves. And if you feel like you want to be or do something, do it. And even if it goes wrong, como Terry, I admire Terry for the way that she is, you know. She always wanted a business of her own. She tried it, she didn't make it, it hurt, but at least, you know, she had el valor, you know,
Courage.
the courage to do it. So, teach your kids to appreciate life and what you got. And that they haven't suffered what we all went through. Because we did go through a lot. After I got married, did I have Junior already? I don't think so. I think it was in '56 when we stayed in Texas. We went to pick cotton to us. And I remember, como like your dad said, that they had to take out the tractors from the los barns donde los tenían. And there was about maybe 4 or 5 families in esta troca. And so after they took out the tractors from there, every family had to get a corner of that place, you know, and that was your house right there. The only way, the way we would divide it was with una lona, I don't know how to say it.
Tarp.
Una lona or maybe a blanket, you know. The site was yours, and that is hard, you know. I already had Porfirio as a baby. Then we moved again. After, sometimes you would move every week, sometimes you would move every 2 weeks to maybe a little better place or maybe worse. And I remember Porfirio wasn't even a year old. And we moved to this little house, you know. At least it was a house. But we had to sleep on the floor. No mattress, no nothing, you know, so. These girls, I mean, they have everything.
Dad, didn't you say that one time y'all had to live in like where they kept pigs or something like that?
Yeah, that was before I got married, but after my mother died, we started migrating. And we started migrating to West Texas, and we started developing cotton, then we followed the crop to Taylor, and then from Taylor to West Texas. And you had to get whatever they gave you to stay on, because the farmers, most of the time, they didn't have a place for you. And one time they had a corral for the pigs, and they had that room where they put the hay and all that. So the farmer decided to give us the place where he had the hay or that, but still it was open to the corral where the pigs were. And like Maria said, we were so used to it that the moment we get off the truck and they say, here's where you're going to stay, we would start sweeping and cleaning and washing and making boards to put the dishes in the stove and all that. And in about 2 hours we were eating supper. It was already about 8 o'clock at night. And Manuel was a joker all the time. Ah, my God. You know, my father, he kept quieting him down. And I don't know what Manuel said with that. And the father said, "Be quiet, you sound like you're in a pig's house." And mother said, "Well, where do you think we are, Dad?" And he made my daddy laugh that time, you know. Other times, like in West Texas, we also came to a house, an old house, and it was 2-3 families and for the same house. We sweep it and clean it, and the water was in an old well, and you could see down, and you could see salamanders, you know, so steptoes, and so we had a bucket and rope and started getting water, and the water had a lot of little animals that move all over. You just put a piece of cloth over a pail, and then you drop the water in the house. So that's how we strain the water, and that's how we drink the water. We're still here. You know, that was life. You know? But we never thought we were poor, because you would see us all singing on the field, and he's singing on the field while you're picking, and then at noon we sat all together under a trailer like family and eating tacos and stuff like that. And then at night we were saying, we didn't know we were poor. We just, you know, enjoyed the family together and all that, you know. So that was those days, and, you know, and it happened several times like that.
You remember when we went to Wisconsin?
Huh?
You remember when we went to Wisconsin?
Yeah. We went to Wisconsin from Wyoming, no?
I can't remember.
Yeah. We were chopping beets in Wyoming, Moreland. And from there they decided to go pick pickles over there, no?
Okay. ¿Te acuerdas que there was a cisterna behind el cuartito?
Yeah.
I remember que I would stay home. I never worked. And I don't know if Susana was with me or not. There was a cisterna behind the house. ¿Cómo se llama la cisterna?
Sister.
A well.
Okay, pero no era well, porque le nombraban
Cisterna, yeah, it's a...
Sister.
It's a cistern. A cistern is not a well that the water comes from the ground. It's something you build and you put water in there, so you can get
It
water.
holds the water.
And I don't know how old this thing was, pero un día I looked out the window and I was looking at the cisterna, and there was this snakes coming from one side and the other from the other.
Oh my gosh.
Ugly snakes, I don't know how many of them, and they would come out and then go back into the cisterna.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
And you would drink out of that water?
I think we did, no? ¿Verdad que sí?
Yeah. That's how we drink water.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're little water snakes. They were not really snakes.
No, estaba grandota. Estaba
Pues they
grandota.
grew big.
Yo me acuerdo, fíjate, I had never seen this before, and honestly, that this is the truth. I remember que esa misma vez estaba viendo yo para afuera, y entonces que voy viendo esta vara parada así, bien paradita.
All right.
And it wasn't a vara, it was a snake.
Right.
And it went up down the day. Honestly,
That was in Wisconsin?
yeah, in Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah, pero
Yeah.
life was hard. Pero it was hard because we didn't have the things we needed, but we had the love that I don't think many people have. We had the protection that we needed, you know. We know we were safe with my dad.
Yeah.
We trusted him in everything. Yeah, he was a good man.
Okay.
Anything else?
No.
Anybody else got a question or anything?
Questions?
Gerald?
Any questions?
Mom, did you want to say anything?
No, there's nothing I can say that I think I accept everything that has happened, and it's just a way of life.
When she got pregnant with the first child, David, we were here, and she decided she wanted to have a baby in the valley in Edinburgh. So I put her on the bus in November, and she had the baby in December. So she left me here, and then later, I got over there before the baby was born, but she left in the bus by herself, pregnant. All the way from here to the valley.
I remember that.
And then, yeah.
That must have been a long trip.
Mm-hmm.
How long did that take?
Huh?
How long did that take for you to get to the valley?
You remember?
No, I don't.
And I remember she left in September, no?
It takes in the bus, I guess it probably took about three days because the bus is non-stop.
Yeah.
You transfer from one bus to another. But, you know, so,
Those were the days.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yes, thank
That was
you.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Déjame decirte, I remember I used to hate Susie, my sister. She was mean. I guess when my mom died, I was looking for love, ¿me entiendes? Okay, I was just a little girl. And Cole would give me that love. And I felt like Cole was my mom. And I used to love her so much. Anyway, but Cole left. She got married right away. So and Chana was very strict, very strict. And that's the way she was with the girls. And I remember that she was mean to me. She made me do things that I didn't want it because I wasn't spoiled because nobody spoiled me, pero because I wanted to be baby, como le dicen. Anyway, I hated Susie. The more I grew, the more I hated her. And but after I got married and that I left the house, oh my God, I found out how much I loved her. I missed her.
Yes. What would you guys fight about, Grandma? What would you fight about?
Because she was my dad's favorite, you know. She was spoiled by my dad. Whatever she said, my dad would do. And sometimes I wanted to go to the dance, and her boyfriend wasn't going to go, so she didn't want to go, so I couldn't go. If Susana wouldn't go, I wouldn't go, so. Those were our fights, you know.
Yeah, did you, as a child, did you have a favorite toy or you had a favorite friend? Any memories about favorite friend or favorite toy?
you talking to her?
Yeah, no, to you.
To me?
Same
Favorite friend?
question, same question.
Tia Maria,
Both?
Grandma Chio.
Me?
Yeah, a los dos.
Oh, my dolls. I love dolls.
So did I have a favorite friend, you see?
Or a toy. Or a dog. Or a horse.
Julie, the mule.
Huh?
Julie, the mule.
I don't know that I had a favorite friend.
We didn't have no toys.
You know.
What did you used to do? Was it-
We didn't own a bicycle until Tio Sabas bought us a bicycle. But he bought us a bicycle for me and my wife. I must have been about, well, after my mother died, I must have been about 13 years old. Manuel about 16 or 15. But, we had a bicycle that lasted until after I got married. I still had the bicycle. You know, we took care of that bicycle. We used to go all over on that bicycle, ¿verdad? So,
The accordion.
and then I had an accordion. You know, because my father wanted us to sing to him. You know, so we used to sit down on the porch of the house in Edinburgh, in the porch, at night sometimes and sing to him.
No, I remember he took me for a bicycle ride, and I was in the back, you know, I was hanging to him, and I was very skinny, very I didn't look like I was 10 years old. And he was going fast allá alrededor donde vivían los, ¿cómo se llamaban? I can't remember. Anyway, he made the turn, you know, really wide but very fast, and he threw me over the bouncing over in the dish. He said, "Good money," and then I guess he felt that the bike was very light, you know, so he turned back. I was barely getting out with a bump in my head. Oh my God, you should have seen him laugh. Oh my God, I could see Manuel laugh. He, risi, risi, risi. Y yo con un montón, una bolona aquí en el pecho. I can't make it.
Hey, Dad, Los Dos, you mentioned him many times. Tell me about Tío Sabas.
Tío Sabas. Tío Sabas, he was the youngest of the Robledo, ¿verdad?
He was a baby.
And they used to live in Manor. But they moved to Mexico. It must have been when the government was giving land to the peasants, ¿verdad? His father moved to Mexico, to Vallehermoso. Sabas and the Joaquin, no, Sabas and Cayetano and the father, they didn't like it. They came back right away. Yeah? So Sabas was the youngest, and he always lived with my father. Yeah? Until 1941 or 42, that he was inducted into the war. So when he came out of the war, it was in 19, I believe, 19. I think he was there when my mother died, so it must have been in 46. Yeah? And we missed him a lot because he was our second father. I remember he used to put me on his shoulders. One time he had me on his shoulders. He had a seat, a chair, turned around, but and he had the chair over here, and I was on top of the chair. And I was afraid. That was when we were in Weberville. I must have been about 6 years old with that. But he was like our father with that. And then when he came from the army, he was a cook with the army, so he used to make us a lot of pies. He was a good cook with that. So he was a very, very good man. He didn't get married until, I don't know how old he was. After he came from the war, he got married probably must have been in 48 or 49. He lived over there very little, then he moved to Washington. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, he was the reason why.
Huh?
At the end of the day, he was the real reason why you guys came up here. Was he the first one?
I don't know why he ended up over here. I don't know what induced him to come over here.
That's true.
I never asked him for that. But in those days, the people in the valley started migrating because, like I tell you, times were hard. Started migrating to Washington, mostly to Yakima Valley, to Tapenes, to Sunnyside, to Wapato.
Very popular.
And they would go back with new trucks and new cars, saying we make a lot of money over there. So little by little, people started saying, well, I want to go too, I want to go too. And that's why a lot of people started coming over here, because the people that first came here went back with cars and stuff like that. And I mean, people wanted to work. So they dare. They usually come now, they didn't have cars. In those days, I'm serious, people didn't have cars in the 1945s and 44s, you know. What they had was, what you will see was a lot of trucks. Because the trucks were the ones that take the people to pick cotton or to cut vegetables. That,
Making money.
so and if somebody had a truck, that means that person was doing good. Okay? So what truckers start doing, they start bringing people over here, you know. People, 2, 3 families come on a truck, put all this stuff and get on top of the truck and
But
put
they
a
would
tarp
get
on it.
money for it.
Eh?
They would get money for the.
See, so that's how people start coming over here.
Migrating.
And migrating to that. Every time that we migrated, we were somebody else. Like when we went to Wyoming and Wisconsin, I think it was with Daniel, Cole's husband, because his father had a truck and Daniel used to drive the truck. Right? So that's how we moved around in trucks. Right? So But I don't know why Sabas came over here, because he came here first, than all of us. And then when he went over there, he started telling how good it was over here. So I caught a ride with him the last time he went over there. Not the last, it wasn't the last time, he went after that. He went to visit one time. So, and I knew how to drive a tractor because my father was a farmer all the time. So I never did any work, what you call stoop labor. No, I started driving a tractor right away. And when I worked with the authorities, I drive machinery all the time, and I drove the tractors, the caterpillars, the harvesters, and the planters, and that's what I did. And then I drove a truck hauling potatoes, so that's how I learned to drive trucks. Yeah, but Sabas was the first one that I know came over here. Yeah.
Tia, what do you remember, Tia Sabas?
That he used to help us a lot. He used to visit me and the kids a lot. And Tia Lupe, you know, and hablaba mucho con nosotros. He would talk a lot to estar con nosotros, como dando consejos. He was nice.
Was he a lot like your father?
I would say so, in a way, ¿me entiendes? Sí. Because if I needed to talk to somebody or, you know, an advice, I would ask them.
Pero en personality también era mucho como yo.
Oh, no.
No, diferente.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sabas was a clean-cut man too. He didn't drink or smoke. Did I remember that?
¿Cómo?
He was a clean-cut man too.
Oh,
He didn't drink or smoke either. He didn't have bad habits as far as I know.
But he used to bring us bags of, at Christmas time,
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
he would bring all of us, the kids, a bag of peanuts or
And candies.
candies. That was his Christmas gift to us every
Every year.
Everybody got a bag of peanuts or whatever it was. in the
These
bag.
guys were already waiting for the backup of peanuts and candies.
Yeah.
And he would take us fishing.
Uh-huh.
Well, the older boys, they would go fishing.
Yeah, he would take me fishing. You know. I feel bad, you know, because I don't remember casi nada.
What's okay? How about your aunts, your mother's sisters?
They didn't live near us.
No, but you knew them out of the way.
Oh yes.
They were different, I know, but did any one of them remind you about your mom and their ways of doing things?
No.
No, very good.
After my mom died, I didn't see him that much, you know. Every year when we would leave the house to go work somewhere else, my dad would take us through New Braunfels and Austin and Round Rock, ¿verdad? To visit them. But maybe just a day, you know, and then we would continue to wherever we were going. So I didn't see them that often. Maybe once, maybe twice a year, si acaso se podía.
For us, growing up, that we made those annual trips to Austin, and we could always tell you were getting excited when we were going. And we always went to Petra's house. I was just curious about your relationship with Petra or how you saw her. Your tia Petra.
So, what's the question? Because I can hear you.
Que si estabas llegado a mi tía Petra.
Que estábamos apegados a mi tía Petra.
Ha llegado, you know, huh?
Oh, yeah.
She was a very nice lady.
Oh, yeah, that's, you're talking about the wife of my uncle Cayetano.
Yeah.
Remember I told you Cayetano, Sabas, and my father always stick together. They were the ones that were born here, and they came back, and they never went back. And my father and Cayetano, Sabas wasn't, and Sabas too, but then Sabas went to them. They were always farming together. So Cayetano was married and had a family, you know. He was married twice. His first wife died, but then she married Petra. So he had family on both. In the first one, he had a Luisa. That was a step daughter of Petra. And then with Petra, he had about four, right? Yeah. But they would always stick together. So what was the question? I forget.
Well, we
¿Cómo te
used to make
sentías con él?
those once-a-year trips to Austin, and we always went to Cayetano and
Yeah.
Petra's house. But you were always very excited.
Oh,
about
we
going.
were very close. Petra Petra's son, the oldest, not the son of Cayetano, but the Antenao, Felipe. To me, he was my mentor. I was just a child, but he was a little older. He was Joe's age. But he always treated me like his little brother. He taught me how to swim. He taught me how to ride on a horse. He's the one that taught me to drive a car. You know?
Felipe.
So when he was sick in California before he died, I came to see him because I always to me he was my big brother, I can say that. That's how close I was to that family. But we were all very close. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind
We stayed in the
staying with
valley,
her.
and they came back to Austin, and that's when we didn't see each other very
No.
often after that. Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Tia?
Huh?
I wouldn't mind staying with her.
No? She was a
La
good lady.
quería mucho. She was very nice.
No, she treated us very well every time we went there.
See?
She just, yeah, the one thing I remember is she just, treated us like we were so special.
I guess it was because I love my tias, they were very nice, pero tía Petra lived near us, and como que I knew her more. Por eso digo, if she would have said, I'll take you with me, I think I would have gone with her.
Yeah.
I was looking for a mom, and I think she would have been a good mom to me.
Theo, we used to go to California and we would all jump into the car, all 7 of us, however. How did you go anywhere with 13 kids? Did you have a van or?
Well, I bought a, what year was it?
There were no
I was working
laws,
with Benson
no
Kemper.
seatbelts, no nothing.
19. I bought a 1967 station wagon with a 400 engine on it.
It was a
Beautiful station
It
wagon.
was a 74.
Eh?
It was a 74.
That is what- My wife hated it because it burned a lot of gas. Pero she was the one that managed to do that. I used to have a Volkswagen, and she used to take everybody to school in the Volkswagen. They were all sitting on top of each other. That Consuelo. That true, Consuelo?
It was embarrassing.
What car did you like the most? Hey, what car did you like the most?
I love my Volkswagen.
Hey, wait,
It
wait.
didn't,
Because I did too very little gas to run.
Very little gas.
But economic. I
It
had
was,
to go
it was
to,
a,
I had to go to different elementary schools too. At least 3 schools that I had to go every morning to leave them off and then have to
Pick 'em up.
bring it back, pick 'em up and bring it back.
We never let them walk
Every
home.
single day.
No. That was our policy because we didn't want them to get spoiled, go with other friends.
they had a 3-seater station wagon, a humongous station
They never
wagon.
slept in it anywhere, in anybody's house.
I don't know how I did it, but I bought cars for everybody except you. I bought one car too, You wrecked one car, no?
The Volkswagen.
Yeah, nice car. Yeah. I don't know how I did it, but I bought a car too. I bought 2 cars for you.
You got a Volare.
I paid for 2 of them.
I gave him a nice car, and the next time that I saw it, about 5 years, it was all rotten. Because he was going to college in Beaumont, that's La Salto. And then I bought you a beautiful car. What was a sport car?
280Z.
Yeah.
Wow.
The same thing. You got all the rest. I don't know how I did it, but I bought Annabelle a car. I bought Sarah a nice car. It was a little Ford, those kind of sporty cars, So, and I bought Annabelle a Dodge, what do you call those little cars? Dodge,
I know.
Dodge Colt.
No, I think it was a Dart.
yeah. And so, and people ask me, how did you all do it? And I'm gonna tell you the truth. This is what I tell them. I don't know. He's the only one that knows how I did it. Believe me. Because God is good and loving. Consuelo never got sick on his hard pregnancies. Never. She goes to the hospital to have a baby in 2 hours. She had the baby. Ready to go home.
Yeah,
I was
but,
very good health. I never had a miscarriage or nothing. All of them were normal.
And they all were very healthy. The only one that was a little sick was Joe. Jacob. I mean, two.
Joe.
somewhere.
He had
An allergy,
asthma.
asthma.
You had it till about you were about 6 years old, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody else was.
But once David and I got to be 15, 16 years old, with Rosie old enough and Lucy old enough, if I remember correctly, you got a lot of pressure from your neighbors about not
All the cars.
doing the migrant route, since you had all that labor available to you.
They used to criticize me because I didn't take them. Because once I started having a family, I didn't migrate. And they used to criticize me because I didn't bring them up north. And all my neighbors would bring their children up north. But the hard work that I went through I said, I want them to go to school. Yeah? I want them to succeed. And when they were a little older, like 16, 17, they find themselves jobs, you know. I kind of expect them to go to work. Yeah? So they had little jobs, I mean, once they were 16 or 17. But all of you work with them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got a lot of
And,
criticism for not
Believe
going
me,
south.
I didn't even draw steps. Welfare. I don't know how I did it, because I was the only one that worked. I can make a study of my life, and I can see how the Lord has always brought me by the hand with that, because in 1985, I got cancer. By then I was working with an oil company. And when I started working with the oil company, I've always believed in insurance, so they offered me some insurance and I signed up for it. 2 years later I got cancer. I didn't know that I had bought a disability insurance. So when I was sick, I was getting my check for that. So,
No, go ahead.
so I didn't have no need to apply for stamps or anything like that, you know. I always had work for that. And then I started driving a truck going out of state, and the reason I took that job was because you could put as many hours as you could with that. I depended a lot on the overtime. There was a week that I put over 100 hours. I went to Georgia to deliver some stuff, and then I came to Oklahoma City to pick up some equipment and take it back again. I did about 2-3 trips, you know. And that week I remember I accumulated over 100 hours. So that was the way I would do it, overtime. So she says I was never home, I was always driving. You go, yeah, but I wasn't sleeping much. You know?
I was going to say something that was always embarrassed me. Because he was always had these jobs. And they said, but you know, oh, he's driving out the trucks back and forth, and how come you're always carrying a baby every year?
Well, she missed me so much, I did that.
Well, thank you for that.
On that note,
I think we'll end there.
Thank you all for sharing your memories with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren are going to really enjoy this.